it was definitely. I was incredibly nervous, but watching from the sideline, super excited when I saw that final interception. So it was wild.
No, I just remember I probably made one of the worst decisions I've ever made about a minute before that when I was spinning out of bounds and threw the ball blindly. Thankfully, got the ball back, but after we scored that touchdown, I was like, man, we just need to stop now. So but I also remember they had a lot of success early in the drive to get to where they were by running the ball. When they finally put it in the air, I mean, obviously Max and JT had pretty successful days. JT already had 2 interceptions that day. When they put the ball in the air, I was like, okay, baby, come on, just one more. And JT was a little selfish that game, took 3 and gave none to Max, but we'll take the W. Obviously, that was just a crazy moment. I remember JT got up and just like flexed, and the whole sideline was all hype after that too. So it was a pretty enjoyable moment.
Yeah. Max, where were you on that play? Did you miss the assignment?
I actually remember that one. I remember them running, pretty simple routes, and I tried to jump it, and I just missed it. I think I was either too late or a little bit too early, and I looked back, and JT had the ball ready, and I was like, you know what? I'm fine with it. We just won the game, I don't really care who caught it, and just pumped to say the least. And like Chad said, we had so many different guys in the field and so many different injuries. It's kind of a year of next man up because we definitely lost Josh Collins to injury, Andrew Okimura, and like Reece Cody, but got a lot of guys had to step up, and I think we were pretty solid, with what we had, and those guys really did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, I would honestly say it's the culture that Coach Look and the entire staff there have established. We were just beneficiaries of that. I think truly the one team mindset is something that kind of permeates throughout the program. It's not about individual stats. It's not about, racking up the offers. I think those will come if you play as a team and we do kind of what is expected of us in our role, and we do it to the best of our abilities. And so, yeah, I think Coach Look's track record kind of speaks for itself. But I am really proud still to, and I still follow, the players and the teams and seeing how they're doing. So it's cool to be a part of that type of program and to see how it's grown and matured, even since we graduated.
How about you, Reece? Has quarterbacks that followed you? Obviously, guys preceded you too, like Jared Arakawa, for example.
Yeah.
Has the quarterback lived up to your expectations? Since you've departed. What's your take?
Well, I feel like it's not my expectations. It's the expectations that really I think the Iolani culture. I think Joe Lane, anyone who knows Hawaii football, Uncle Vinny, Vince Passis, obviously discipled a bunch of these guys, but Coach Joe Lane was one of them. And I remember coming up and watching Kyron play, right? Kyron Kipo'o, and then Ryan Dung, and then Jared Arakawa and Kella Marcial. So for me, it was like, I'm just the next in the system here. I wasn't anything special. All these guys before me that came, and they were such great athletes and great players and great students, and it was an honor. And then, like we said, Austin Jimon and then Tyjon, and I was really close to both those guys, both great athletes. And then Jonah, and obviously, like that we've been continuing that legacy on it as the years have gone through. So, yeah, I would agree. Like I've played, University of San Diego at Amherst College. I still don't think I have a quarterback coach better than Coach Joe Lane. So, I think the offensive minds we have at Iolani, Coach Look, Coach Joe, and especially them, but then starting with our receivers coach and Coach Tony and Coach Armin, like, man, we're just really lucky, and it's fun. They make it fun to play the game too. They'll never use that excuse, but even like I remember my senior year, 3 of my linemen were lighter than me in weight. My center was 170 pounds. He had a 6-pack. I didn't even have a 6-pack. My center had a 6-pack. You know what I mean? Like, so they would never talk about that kind of stuff, but make it fun for us, give us a chance to go out there and compete, regardless of size.
Yeah, so went to Northwestern for undergraduate and played football there, and then I'm now at Northwestern's medical school in Chicago, so first-year medical student. basically DeVry Medical School, if you want to call it. Everything's virtual right now with the pandemic, but yeah, taking it day by day. So that's kind of where I'm at. But
Max, what about you? What you been up to?
Went to Pacific. Played all 4 years there. Did end up going to Japan to play. It's a great experience. Just came back earlier this year. Now working at the rehab hospital in the Pacific. Trying to map out going back to school as well. We're looking into PT school. So trying to go back to school for that. And I guess what Chad, just surfing a lot.
And what have you been up to, Reece, man?
Yeah, well, the biggest update in my life was definitely I got married a little less than a year ago to a wonderful woman named Sarah. So yeah, she's awesome. So blessed to have her. And actually, both her and I work for a collegiate ministry. So I'm a campus minister for athletes, actually. So I'm still very involved in athletics. I got to be a campus pastor at USC for the athletic program there in Occidental College. And really all athletes throughout the greater Los Angeles area. And then I'm also on staff at a church in Santa Monica. And one of these days, hopefully we'll be able to come home and plant a church in Hawaii, perhaps. But definitely feel called to what I'm doing, just loving people and loving Jesus. And yeah, it's been a blast since I graduated, since I was able to kind of pursue those things.